You ever have one of those mornings where the world just decides out of nowhere that it's your turn to get bulldozed? I'm talking about real high-octane cosmic bad luck, the kind that makes you spit coffee back into the mug and laugh because, hell, what else can you do? Well, that was me. Let me tell you how a no-nonsense ex-land agent, yours truly, nearly lost everything he built because a slick-talking HOA forged map and a power-hungry president decided my house was in their way. I built this place myself right out here on the Red Rock Hills of western Colorado. 15 years with the Bureau of Land Management made sure of one thing. I don't just read the land. I know how to talk to it. Every bolt, every stubborn screw in these floors, every rock in the foundation, my fingerprints, my sweat, my cursing under the high country sun. And not because I romanticize being off-grid. It's because I know what happens when you let other people, especially suits with clipboards, get a say in your business. So imagine my mood. One Monday, sky turning gold through the kitchen window, coffee just right, peaceful as a prayer when I hear tires crunching on gravel. Two people stiff as ironing boards in matching polos with HOA logos come striding up my drive like they own the joint. I should have known right then that my week was about to catch fire. Screen doors barely open before they even think about knocking. Mr. Jeremy Holt, the older one, says, reading off his printout like he's rehearsing for a play no one wants to see. That's me, I say. We're here on behalf of Pine Grove Estates Homeowners Association. You've been served. He shoves an envelope at me, red ink, screaming, demolition order. The younger guy, trying hard to look tough, pipes up. According to the updated subdivision boundaries, you're now under Pine Grove jurisdiction. 10 days to clear out all unpermitted structures, or we do it for you, and we charge you. I just stood there, coffee cooling in my hand, thinking this has got to be a joke. Pine Grove. My land's a good half-mile from the closest developer McMansion, tucked away behind enough trees and ridges to lose a bear. I say this isn't your jurisdiction. My permits are older than your HOA. This land's never been part of Pine Grove. They do this little glance, one of those bureaucratic ballet moves. You can appeal to the board, the older guy says, not missing a beat, but the demolition deadline stands. And just like that, they leave smugness trailing behind them like cheap aftershave. I'm left with a fat envelope in my hand, feeling like I'd just been handed a dead fish. Inside, I find their so-called proof. A printed demolition notice, a list of made-up violations, and most interesting, this map. Supposedly certified by the county, it shows Pine Grove's boundary now swallowing my property whole. Trouble is, I've seen this land from every angle. I have my original deed survey topo maps, the works. All of them show a crystal clear line, my land on one side, their vinyl fenced fantasy land on the other. But their map has a shiny new county stamp. That means someone in the local recorder's office signed off. So I pack up my files, lock up, and drive into town. County recorder's office is nothing special, beige, dusty, humming with printers and people who've seen too many Mondays. Gwen's behind the counter. She's worked there longer than most marriages last. I drop the HOA letter in front of her. Take a look. She frowns, shuffles through some files, and says, "We did get a revised parcel map last quarter. Want to see it?" "Yep," I say. "And the old one too." 10 minutes later, she's back with two maps. Side by side, you can see it my parcel BR102, which used to end at Ridge Creek, is now boxed in by new HOA lines on the so-called update. Down at the bottom, there's a signature F. Craig. I know that name. Freddie Craig, once a government surveyor, now freelancing for developers who like their paperwork flexible and their ethics thin. Gwen lowers her voice. This came through fast, no hearing, just a notation. She can't tell me who cleared it officially, but she hints development coordination desk, Jason Epps. Now, Jason's got a reputation, never met a rule he couldn't bend if you twisted his arm with enough pressure. He and Freddie worked together on another messy job down near Durango years back. This whole thing smells like week-old corruption. I thank Gwen, make high-res copies of both maps, and leave hands shaking, mind racing. 10 days. That's what they gave me. 10 days to wipe out 5 years of sweat, stubbornness, and stone. Sleep was off the table that night. Next morning, before the sun was up, I'd laid out every document, deed survey, construction permits, 5 years of paper trails spread across my dining table like an arsenal. I called the county, asked to see Jason. He's in meetings all morning. Figures. So I drove straight there, binder under my arm, caffeine in my veins, determination in my shoes. The office is all bland posters and slogans about planning tomorrow today. I ignore reception, walk right in. Jason's chatting with some perfume-drenched woman in heels. His eyes go cold when he sees me. Didn't know you had an appointment, he says. Didn't make one, I answer. But I've got 50 reasons you'll want to talk to me privately. He ushers me in, blinds snapping shut. I throw down my binder, flip to the maps. Explain how my property's inside your HOA now. He tries the bureaucrat shuffle. Recent corrections. Early survey reviews. Correction. You moved 3 property lines. No hearings. No notice. Freddie Craig's signature, your old buddy from Durango. He's Blue Mountain's lapdog now. And guess who's Pine Grove's development partner? His face starts to crack. That doesn't make this fraudulent. I slide over a satellite overlay. See the corner. Whoever faked this didn't even match the elevation. There's no ridge on your map, but there's one in real life. He stares. If you think a mistake was made, I know a mistake was made. I'm filing with the state surveyor and the DA. If a single file gets shredded before the audit, you're complicit. This binder's going to the press and to a federal judge before the day's out. That did it. He looked like he'd just bitten into a lemon, not sure if he should swallow or spit. I left him there silent, sweating. Back home, I set up more trail cams, every angle-covered footage uploading to the cloud, and a hard drive stashed in the barn wall. Not just for evidence, this was war prep. That night, I dug into Freddie Craig's history. Turns out he'd redrawn 2 more HOA boundaries recently, both cases quietly registered as corrections, both skipping the mandatory public hearings. Found a campaign donation $3,000 to the county commissioner overseeing zoning. Nothing says let's be friends like a few $1,000 at the right dinner party. Next day, I called my old friend Danny Salazar, field reporter, sharper than a hatchet. She called me back 20 minutes later. Jeremy, what the hell have you stepped in? Apparently a goldmine for sleazy developers. She was there the next morning, 2 cameras, a drone, and a producer who looked like he trusted no one. We shot everything the house. The property stakes the oak tree at the boundary where my lot's stake number is carved, plain as day. Danny's eyes light up. You've got them, Jeremy. You'd be surprised how often a shiny official stamp can turn lies into facts. That afternoon, I drafted a cease and desist letter. Cited Colorado statutes trespassing fraudulent land claims. Attached everything, deed surveys and affidavit from the old owner. I didn't mail it. I delivered it to the Pine Grove HOA office myself. Receptionist gives me the frozen smile. Can I help you? I'm here for Mallory Phelps, your president. She's in a meeting. Great. Give her this and let her know any unauthorized entry onto my land is criminal trespass from this moment forward. Back home, I check the cameras. There are 3 men in HOA vests hovering just at my tree line. Rangefinder, clipboard, walkie-talkie. They never knock. Just point, mutter, and disappear. 6 hours later, a flatbed truck with a bulldozer comes grinding up the ridge. 4 guys, hard hats, looking for trouble. I meet them at the line binder and restraining order in hand, courtesy of a sympathetic judge I found through an old BLM contact. Step foot on my land and you're in contempt of court. It's all live streaming to the sheriff's office, I tell them. They leave, but they don't go far. Just park out of sight, engines idling. Wolves waiting for nightfall. I add more lights. Don't sleep. Get good at not sleeping. By Thursday, my nerves are steel cables. The trucks are still there. I go looking for anything they might use against me, and that's when I remember. The old temporary HOA water line. Years back, 2 contractors sweet-talked me into letting them run a pipe across the far end of my land just for the summer, they said. I never signed anything. They paid me in beer and donuts. Well, I found that line half buried by cedar trees still being used. HOA's water running straight through my property, and now they're trying to demolish my house. Nope. Drafted a legal notice of encroachment, got it notarized, hand-delivered it. 72 hours to stop the attack on my property or your water's off. An hour later, the HOA president herself calls. You're threatening community utilities, she says, all cold and righteous. Not a threat, a notice, I answer. You want water, quit stealing land. That evening, my neighbor Jason RV, parked down by the trail guy who keeps to himself, shows up. He's nervous. My sister works admin at the HOA. They're talking about hiring private security, maybe trying an emergency enforcement. People are getting twitchy. Mallory's losing it. Now here comes the twist, a real game changer. Jason tells me, they collect phones at board meetings now so no one can record. She's calling you a squatter, ranting about setting an example. So I fly my drone near their next meeting, shotgun mic recording. And what do I get? Mallory herself pacing like a general, barking, we cannot back down. If we lose this fight, others will resist. Bulldoze his house if we have to. The board's vote is final. Her voice clear as a bell. That's more than evidence, that's a confession. I take it straight to the courthouse, file an emergency complaint, attach everything. Also send it to Danny and a couple regional reporters. News catches fire. HOA threatens to bulldoze veteran's house, gets caught. The view count climbs, advocacy groups jump in, and suddenly I'm not alone anymore. Black SUV shows up down the road, someone's watching. Sheriff says if they're not trespassing, can't help. So I cap the water line. Document everything. Next morning, plain white truck's new work crew tries to set up for demolition. I meet them at the line binder and court order in hand. You're trespassing. Court says so. Call the sheriff. They pack up, leave in 15 minutes flat. That evening, Danny returns, wants more footage for the station. She asks, "Can I use the recording of Mallory Hell?" "Yes," I say. Then I spot another piece, a digital map from the HOA, but the GIS overlay doesn't match up. They faked the whole thing, missing metadata, copy-pasted signatures, you name it. I'm not just fighting for my home anymore. I'm exposing a conspiracy. By Saturday, word's out. Retired surveyors, even state mapping authority people start reaching out, offering free help. One sends a transcript from a planning meeting 3 years ago where the HOA president discusses integrating my parcel by name into future developments. The smoking gun. By now I've got a lawyer, Grant Ellison, ex-military bulldog who specializes in land disputes. He says this isn't just civil, it's criminal. HOA sends me a cease and desist, says I'm jeopardizing health and safety. I forward it to Grant. Perfect, he laughs. Now they've admitted to the waterline. Sunday Regional News picks up the story. Reporter films the property, includes side-by-side overlays, real lines versus forged ones. Channel 12 airs it. They use the audio of Mallory blur the board faces and let an expert say, if this is legit, that's conspiracy. Things move quick. Monday, state auditors storm the HOA office. By evening, the state prosecutor's office is freezing all new Pine Grove permits. Their expansion plan dead. For the first time in weeks, peace settles in. No more bulldozers. No more SUVs. Just sunset on the ridge and a sign on my property, not affiliated with any HOA. All maps subject to public review. A knock on Tuesday. State land agent, Agent Reynolds. We spend hours at my table, files everywhere, him saying, "You're not paranoid, you're prepared." He leaves with a drive full of evidence. Then the real nail in the coffin, an anonymous email. She made us redraw the lines. Here are the drafts. 4 PDFs, each map version, my parcel getting magically absorbed on the latest one. But they copy-pasted the signature block down to the pixel. Amateur hour. I send it all to Grant Reynolds, Danny. By Wednesday, it's national news. Mallory's name and face, this time not blurred. HOA board resigns. Signage gets ripped down. Thursday morning, county marshals take Mallory away. Fraud, conspiracy, falsifying records. Karma riding shotgun. The hearing comes 3 weeks later. Judge lays out every charge one after another. No more smugness, no more power games. The prosecution buries them, fake maps, forged signatures, emails ordering the fraud. Even a demolition contractor testifies, says he always thought something was off. Verdict: HOA's claim null and void. Attempted demolition illegal. Pine Grove Estates, HOA dissolved top to bottom. Not suspended, not restructured, dead. Judge installs a state trustee, gives residents 2 months to figure out what to do. No more secret expansions, no more empire building. Mallory plea deal. House arrest, probation, huge fines, and banned for life from any state board. She sells her house, disappears. Nobody misses her. I don't celebrate. No interviews, no books, just peace. Damages get awarded almost $1 million. I spend some of it on reinforced boundary markers, install a sign that lights up and says wrong parcel. Try again. Still in the same house mailbox now, says independent landholder. Maps verified. Good luck trying. People stop by sometimes. Ask questions. I hand them lemonade and say, world's not run by monsters, just by people who think they'll never get caught. Sometimes you don't need a map to find the truth. So here's the thing. You build a life. You do it right. And all it takes is one person with a pen, a map, and too much power to try and wipe it all away. And sometimes it's not the monsters you have to worry about, it's the folks who think the rules don't apply to them until someone finally says, not today. And now I gotta ask you, what would you have done if it was your land, your sweat, your name they tried to erase? Where's the line between defending what's yours and becoming just as ruthless as the people trying to take it? Drop your story, your take on justice down in the comments. I'd love to hear it.
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video.